Hello, Canada. The Canadian team has made only one change in their lineup. Jean Rattel replaces Bill Goldsworthy for tonight's game. The Soviets have pulled a surprise and have made no less than 6 changes. We'll tell you about them later. Brian?
Foster, I think one of the reasons the Soviets have made changes is they realize that they have to be stronger in the corners. I see they've dropped number 11, Zeman, and in the latter part of that game in Toronto, Zeman was pulling up considerably when he'd go into the corner to check. I also know that they have changed and dropped Ragulin on defense. I think after Ivan Cornoyer went around him like a hoop around a barrel, I think the Soviets thought that they couldn't put him back in there tonight. So we are going to see a lot of changes. We don't exactly know how they're going to combine them, but there will be a lot of changes for the Soviets.
As far as we can check, Vasiliev and Shatilov are going to be on the defense. Mishakov, Saludikin, Anderson, Lebedev, and Bodnov have been added to the lineup, and I believe they are starting a kid line. Not starting, but we'll have a kid line out there.
Those 3 players, of course, being Anderson, Lebedev, and Vodanov, all of which are 21 years old.
Tremendous crowd in the Winnipeg Arena.
Heading tonight's pregame ceremonies is a presentation of commemorative gold medallions to the 2 head coaches. There's Tony Esposito heading out onto the ice, the last member of Team Canada to head out of the dressing room. A tremendous ovation here in Winnipeg for both the teams as they step onto the ice. The 2 head coaches, Harry Sinden and Bobrov, at center ice waiting to be presented with their gold commemorative gold medals.
May I direct your attention to center ice for a special presentation. Taking part are Mr. Al Scott, coordinator for Hockey Canada, Father David Bauer, and coaches Sinden and Bobrov. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez diriger votre attention au centre de la glace pour une cérémonie de présentation à laquelle prendront part Monsieur Al Scott, coordonnateur de Hockey Canada, le père David Bauer et les entraîneurs Sinden du Canada et Bobrov de l'Union soviétique.
On behalf of Hockey Canada and our president, Mr. Charles Hay, I am honored to ask Father David Bauer to present gold medallions to Coach Bobrov and Coach Sinden. Silver medallions are to be presented to each member of both teams. De la part de Hockey Canada, je suis honoré de demander au père David Bauer de présenter ces médaillons d'or aux instructeurs Bobrov et Sinden. Chaque joueur des 2 équipes recevra un médaillon d'argent. Merci.
There's a good look at Father David Bauer, who just presented the gold medallions to the 2 coaches. And there's Harry Sinden leaving the ice.
Here are the lineups for tonight.
And now down to the ice level and the introduction of the players.
L'Union soviétique. Number 1, numéro 1, Victor Zinger. Number 2, numéro 2, Alexander Gusev. Numéro 3, number 3, Vladimir Luchenko. Number 4, numéro 4, Victor Guskin. Number 6, numéro 6, Valery Vasiliev. Number 7, numéro 7, Gennady Tikankov. Number 10, numéro 10, Alexander Maltsev. Number 12, numéro 12, Evgeny Mishakov. Number 13, numéro 13, Boris Mikhailov. Number 14, numéro 14, Yuri Shatalov. Number 15, numéro 15, Alexander Yakushev. Number 16, numéro 16, Vladimir Petrov. Number 17, numéro 17, Valery Karmakov. Number 19, numéro 19, Vladimir Shadrin. Number 20, numéro 20, Vladislav Tretiak. Number 21, numéro 21, Vyacheslav Solodukin. Number 22, numéro 22, Vyacheslav Anisin. Number 24, numéro 24, Alexander Bodunov. Numéro 23, number 23, Yuri Lebedev. And now, Team Canada, l'équipe Canada. Number 1, numéro 1, Ed Johnston. Number 2, numéro 2, Gary Bergman. Number 3, numéro 3, Pat Stapleton. Number 5, numéro 5, Brad Park. Number 6, numéro 6, Ron Ellis. Number 7, numéro 7, Phil Esposito. Number 12, numéro 12, Yvan Cournoyer. Number 14, numéro 14, Wayne Cashman. Number 17, numéro 17, Bill White. Number 18, numéro 18, Jean Rattel. Number 19, numéro 19, Paul Henderson. Number 20, numéro 20, Peter Mahovlich. Number 21, numéro 21, Stan Mikita. Number 22, numéro 22, J.P. Parisé. Number 23, numéro 23, Serge Savard. Number 25, numéro 25, Guy Lapointe. Number 27, numéro 27, Frank Mahovlich. Number 28, numéro 28, Bobby Clark. Number 35, numéro 35, Tony Esposito. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you now to stand and observe a moment's silence in memory of the Israeli athletes who died so tragically in Munich yesterday. Mesdames et messieurs, nous vous demandons de rester debout, de garder un moment de silence à la mémoire des athlètes israéliens qui ont trouvé une mort tragique à Munich hier. Please remain standing for the Soviet and Canadian anthems. S'il vous plaît, restez debout pour les hymnes nationaux de l'Union soviétique et du Canada.
And now the traditional exchange of gifts. Team Canada giving a provincial crest from Manitoba to the Soviets. And there is Kuskin, the captain, exchanging crests with Stan Mikita.
This is Game 3 of the Canada-Soviet series from Winnipeg. And now for the starting lineups. Esposito is in goal for Canada. Park and Bergman on the defense. And the Clark-Ellis-Henderson line is starting for Canada. Tretriak, of course, is in goal for the Soviets. The Luchenko and Tsigankov on the defense, and Maltsev with Harlamov and Mikhailov, the forward line for the Soviets on the starting gun. So now we're all set now, and there's the Zinger, the extra goalkeeper, and Ed Johnson, of course, is the standby goalkeeper for Canada. The Soviets are going into a huddle over there by the blue line. They do that every game. They get all in a group, give a little cheer, I guess, like a college team, and then skate over to their bench, which is on the far side of the arena. Now, Tretiak has been quite a sensation, number 20, in goal for the Soviet, and of course Tony Esposito, who gave such a great showing in the second game of the series. Now we're all set for the start of the game. Maltsev cleared the puck from the face-off. Park going in back of the Canadian goal. Park is covered on the play by Harlamov, but the puck goes loose to Bergman. Bergman is covered by Mikhailov, and the Soviet looks as if they're going to put the pressure on right from the drop of the hat. There's a rolling puck in front of the goal. Here's the shot by Maltsev, right on. And Esposito made the save as the Soviet are moving in on that ganging attack right off the start.
Tony Esposito's called upon to make a big save here. Now look at Mikhailov, gets that puck out perfectly. Maltsev backs away after the defenseman drops. Esposito called upon to make a big save.
Clark from the face-off is trying to get out. Maltsev missed him. Bergman played it over on the wing. It slides out, and Luchenko goes back to get it, shooting the head at center ice. Harlamov is in there, stopped by the Canadians. Team Ellis tried to get away after Henderson had broken up the rush. Clark shot against the Soviet defense. The puck goes loose back to the Soviet goal. Maltsev over on the right side to Harlamov. He went in on the boards. Bergman is in ahead of him, and Bergman failed to clear it away when it hit Mikhailov. Puck is over in the far side. Luchenko shot it back to the net. Mikhailov recovers, and the Soviet are putting on the pressure. Luchenko let one go. It's knocked to the side. Another shot right on. Knocked out on the right wing. Canada break with one man back. A pass is intercepted as Tsigankov was right in position to intercept that pass. Now the puck goes loose into the Soviet zone. Yakashev is starting to move. Chadwin is out there with him. Canadians get a shot, a weak shot to the side. There's another drive by Bill White. The right shot and score! Was right on the edge of the goal crease, and Canada's drawn first blood. Bill White.
This was a high-rising shot by Bill White. A perfect shot. Now Tretiak can't control a rebound. He juggles it. Parise, standing on the doorstep, bangs the puck in the far corner. Here's another angle. Tretiak cannot control a high-rising shot by White.
Jean-Paul Parise got that one from White at 1:54 and was right after a change of lines by the Canadian team. The time is 1:54. Parise from White. All set for the face-off, and Anderson is now at center ice for the Soviets as they put their kid line out. The puck is recovered by Anderson, who took a long shot. Esposito played it off to the wing. Canada leading 1-0 in this third game of the series. A long pass to Mahovlich. He's covered by Anderson. The puck went over on the right wing. Cournoyer goes into the corner and pins Shatteloff with quite a jolt on the right side. Vodnov moves down the left wing to center ice. A long shot steered off to the corner. Stapleton beats the pass to Mahovlich to Cournoyer, number 12. Back again at center ice. And they finally shoot it in on a player change for Canada. Rattel is going out there for the Canadian team. A long pass to Vodnov. Failed to click. Bill White carries it into the corner for Canada. Lobbing it on the side. Stopped by Vasiliev. There's going to be a penalty on the play for elbowing. And there's the first penalty of the game. 16:58 is the time. It was an elbow by Vasiliev. So Vasiliev of the Soviet team gets the first penalty for elbowing. So it looks as if they might be going to clamp down a bit. The time is 3:02 of the first period. Canada leading the Soviets 1-0. A goal by Parisi from White at 1:54. Puck is back to Park. Cleared over at the blue line. Intercepted. Here's a long shot. He scores! A long shot from the right side by Petrov. Right from the faceoff.
Can't make careless passes around the blue line. Frank Mahovlich misses the pass here. Petrov walks right in. Now look at the triangle, the way Tony Esposito goes down.
3:16 is the time of Petrov's scoring play, and it came right after a change of players. Petrov got that draw and fired it. Now Canada trying to come up to the blue line. Lutsenko trying to knock it off to the wing. Here's Park getting his shot. Ooh, a sizzler. Puck is shot down the ice. Park is going ahead of Petrov, 16. And Lapointe is now returning for Canada on the far wing. Pulled away from Mishakov, centered in front, deflected to the blue line, but not out. Mahovlich, 27, getting his shot right on. Petriak stopped it. Back to Lapointe, who missed it. A break down the left side. Petrov keeps after it, goes right on. Esposito took him off into the corner, and Canada come back. The score is tied, 1-1. Marnoyer let a hot one go there. Petriak went high with his glove, knocked it down from the corner. Marnoyer again trying his luck. Lutsenko partially stopped it the first time, and then it went to Kuzkin. Puck is back at center ice. Bill White taking a long shot, and again frequent changes coming into the game. Lutsenko back to the net with Ellis after him. Henderson rushes over to stop him. Now Kuzkin, number 4 for the Soviet, right onto Stapleton's stick. Up to Esposito, who couldn't carry it. Yakushev comes right back, driving it into the Canadian zone. The score is tied, 1-1. Parisi scoring for Canada. Petrov for the Soviet. Esposito to center ice. Lob one wide of the net. Gusev cleared it back to the goal. There goes the helmet of the Soviet player. Yakushev comes up, only Esposito stole the puck from him, and Clark is coming over the boards with Ellis and Henderson. A sliding pass goes to center ice. Yakushev broke it up. Clark drives it over the line into the Soviet zone to one side of the net. Gusev is covered by Clark. Henderson is trying to dig it out. It goes back to the Soviet goal. A long pass goes right down the ice, and it'll be called for icing. With the score, Canada won and the Soviets won. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. Petriak was tested there by Paul Henderson with a low drive from the left side. Vodnov failed to get past center ice. Vasiliev on the defense now was stopped, and Bill White, 17 for Canada, alone, tries to pull his way through. It's recovered by Vasiliev, who goes back to the net. Clark dumped him over on that far side. A dump again. Here's a close-in play. The puck hit at Stapleton. The Soviets get it again. Anderson getting it over on the far wing to Lebedev, and he was checked. Canada on the attack to center ice. A hard check there by Kuzkin slowed the Canadian player down. It was Cashman. Cashman is out there now. There's a shot high over the Canadian goal. It's a 1-1 tie. Canada trying to get Savard Savard is up to center ice. Savard comes up over on the right side. Savard keeps on going into the corner. He's 23, but he was finally stopped by Shatloff. Into the corner for Anderson, and boy, was he bounced, and he left his helmet there. Play is called.
This is a good, stiff body check. And Savard really takes Anderson out. Anderson, 21 years old. This is his first big test in international competition. That whole line of 22, 23, and 24 getting their first chance in international competition.
From the face-off, Harlamov is over on the right wing, still going. The puck got away from him. It's lobbed up to center ice. Luchenko drives it right back in again. Esposito stopping it back of the goal. Canada regrouping, starting to make the move. A long pass on the left side from Savard. A long drive. Fretriak knocked it to the side. It goes into the corner. Maltsev attempted a forward, gets a return at center ice, beating down over the line. A drop pass is intercepted. Cashman there to head to Esposito. Esposito going into the corner, was shoved around a bit by Sagankov. Now here's a shot on goal, wide of the net. There's going to be a penalty call on that last play, and looks like a slashing penalty. With the score, Canada won and the Soviets won. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg.
0-1.
Canada will be a man short.
Punition.
Cashman going into the penalty
Équipe
box for
Canada,
slashing
numéro 14.
at
Wayne
8:01.
Cashman, numéro 2,
Cashman.
pour avoir porté
Well, that's the
le
first
bâton
Canadian
trop.
penalty.
8 minutes, 1
Vasiliev
seconde.
had received a penalty prior to that. Petrov scored the lone Soviet goal unassisted. Harlamov is now moving down with Maltsev, number 10, over the Canadian line, going into the corner, and he's taken into the boards by Brad Park. They're really playing it hard. A loose puck comes back to Luchenko at the blue line. Over on the far wing, a fake shot goes into the corner, and the Soviet player fell, trying to dig it out. Mihailov comes from the side, was stopped. Now they move from the other side. They're jiggling that puck around quite a bit. Mihailov played it to the corner. Saganko is handled by Bergman. There's a slash back to the goal there by Bergman. Play goes right on. It's back to Luchenko at the blue line. A pass to the left side. Back again, a slider. Stopped by Bergman and cleared to the corner. Soviets still retain that puck. Mihailov cleared it. It's right in front of the net. Right in front. And they fail to get a drive on the goal. But the Soviets have the Canadian team mesmerized a bit with their passing plays.
Where Canada's getting in trouble on this power play is that they're playing the box a little too tightly, and they're giving the Soviets good puck control around the outside. This is Mihailov. He gets it through the far side. Now the box is a little too tight there. The defenseman should have been over on that far side, and had it not been for a superb save by Esposito, the Soviets might have taken the lead.
That was a close call for Canada there, as the Soviet kept that puck just as if they had it on that string, as they did in the first game. 50 seconds left in the Canadian penalty to Cashman. Canada recovers from the face-off. Ellis, number 6, gets to center ice. Was well covered by Yakushev on the play. Puck goes back into the Soviet zone. Yakushev took the pass from Pushkin, and it's still back in there. Gusev, number 2, trying his luck as the Canadians are doing some real forechecking now. A quick pass up to the blue line. Shadron got it over to Yakushev and shot it back to the net. Solodukin getting it back to the blue line. The drive goes wide. Pat Stapleton deflecting it to the corner. Shadron stands there, back to the blue line, back to Shadron. He still has it into the side there. Another pass goes astray, and that seemed to be a rather weak effort, but Gusev stopped it at center ice. Another try now. Bodnov drives it against the boards. Canada at full strength. Teams at full strength. Each team has served a penalty. Ellis cut back. And the Canadian team in the game so far in this first period seem a little more cautious. A long sliding pass goes in and wide of the Soviet goal. It's called for icing as Cornwallis was rushing in there fast. Maltsev is apparently getting a little attention, and they're taping up his hand. Whether he was injured or not, it's hard to say, but they're playing it rough out there, and there have been some fair board checks in the game so far. Lapointe and Savard are coming out for Canada on the defense. Anderson is going to be over at center ice. Lebedev is on one wing. This is their kid line. And Bodnov is on the other wing. This is the first time these two, Lebedev and Bodnov, have played in the Canadian Series. Peter Mahovlich is out there now. The puck is cleared out at center. It rolls around at center ice, and it's finally Savard that cleared it over to Peter Mahovlich. Over on that left wing, here's a shot, and it hit the outside of the net. That was a close call as Rattel drove one from the side. He's the added player for Canada in this game. A slider went wide of the Canadian goal. It wasn't a dangerous rush. Bodnov was well covered, and Canada start back a two-man break at center. Over on the right side, Cornwallis tested Petriak there from close in on the wing, and the Soviet goalkeeper just closed his pads.
That line of Bodnov, Anderson, and Lebedev, they're all 21 years old. Cornwallis breaks in from that right wing with that tremendous speed. Now watch him cut back towards the net. Tretiak right out, cuts down the angle, nothing to shoot at.
Ready for the face-off. Esposito gets a shot. He's right in front of the net. And Parisi goes into the corner. Lecheko stopped him. It's up to Mihailov. Maltsev going down the right boards. He's number 10. It's recovered by Canada. Esposito getting it out to center ice. Cashman couldn't get a stick on it. Sagankov fell, and the puck goes to one side of the Soviet goal. 1-1 tie in this first period with 8:21 left. Canada recover. Cashman fighting for that puck, goes over on the wing to try to pass. Parisi couldn't get a real shot. A three-man break for the Soviet. Coming down with a pass to Mihailov. The shot went wide, but they're walking right in there. Canada moving up on a three-man rush. Cashman gets it over the line, rolled it to the side. A pass back to Esposito. His shot went off the leg. Cashman squeezes Lecheko close to the boards there. With the score, Canada won and the Soviets won. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg.
Jackie
Getting all
McLeod
set now for the face-off. Shakashev. Yakashev has got the draw over onto that far side. Solidukin, Anderson, and a roller goes into the Canadian zone. A drive went off Park. He stopped it on his skate. Park cleared it out to Henderson. He wears the red helmet on that left wing. Puck bounces around to Ellis on this side. He's well covered by Sagankov. Shadrin failed to get away on his try. Gusev played it over onto the wing. Yakashev, a rangy player, plays it over onto the far wing. Kuzkin played it ahead, and they drive it into the Canadian zone. The puck going to the opposite corner. Solidukin tried to center it out. Park blocked it. Stayed right into the slot there, and Park, number 5, is trying to pull away from Shadrin. Shadrin had him covered, then Bergman plays it over onto the right boards, and Ellis taps it down the ice. Kuzkin is going back, goes over the line. He made no attempt, of course, he didn't have to stop it, and it's called for icing. Kuzkin, number 4, for the Soviet, a very aggressive defense player.
Both teams are playing it a lot more cautiously in this first period than they did in either Toronto or Montreal, with a score 1-1. Both teams are trying to establish some sort of control before they take too many chances.
Bill White and Pat Stapleton going on the defense to replace Park and Bergman. Kid line for the Soviet out there again. Anderson at center ice. Vasiliev takes over on the defense. Stan Mikita tried to break out. Pat Stapleton plays it over on the wing to Mahovlich. Bernoyer goes in to help him out. Bernoyer tried to dig it back to Mahovlich, who has it. Playing back of that net, centered out in front. Bernoyer couldn't get a whack at it. Mikita is the center. Now a three-man break for the Soviet. Over the line, right in on goal. And a close one there as Bodnov had a shot. Canadian team roll that puck out, getting it out of their own territory with Shataloff, number 14, playing his first game. Playing it ahead now to Anderson at center. The shot will stop. The effort clear to the corner, but Anderson gets it again, shooting it back to the net as the Soviet keep the pressure on the Canadian team. Bodnov was stopped. Pat Stapleton goes back to the goal. He's checked by Lebedev. Here's right in front of the goal. They're getting another shot. That just grazed the post on that drive. They keep getting extra shots on there as the Canadian team are not clearing too well. Bodnov got that front back into the Canadian zone. Bill White over to Stapleton. Ahead at center to Esposito. Over on the right side. Bernoyer cleared in front. And it slides to the Soviet team of Mihailov. Coming back with Harlamov. Harlamov, 17, let a hard one go. He nearly cleared it right into his own net off his own teammate, but he was able to cover, and the puck goes to the left wing. Long clearing pass. Here's Cashman right in on goal. And Petriak went down low and covered. Harlamov coming back for the Soviet, weaving over on that right side. Tried to center into Mihailov. Failed to click. It rolled in front of the net. The Canadian team are having a number of close calls as the Soviets worm right in close. And the defense don't seem to be able to knock them over. Up to center ice, Harlamov getting it over to Maltsev. Maltsev is jumped on the play. There's going to be a penalty. Greasy seemed to upset him with his skate. They're going to call it tripping, likely. Yes, they're going to call a tripping penalty. With the score, Canada won and the Soviets won. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg.
Pour avoir fait trébucher à 15 minutes 47.
This is an Academy Award winner, that penalty, Foster.
Well, that's Parisi got the tripping penalty. The time is 15:47. And it looked at the time as if the Soviet player had just taken a sort of dive, but at the same time, he wasn't handled gently. Maltsev is now for the face-off, the Soviet having the advantage again in manpower for the second time in the game. Puck goes back to the Soviet blue line. They're regrouping. Lecheko to Maharlov. Maharlov coming back at center. He's one of their stars. Back to Mihailov to drive right on, and a good stop there by Esposito. Canadian team trying to break out on the right wing. Savard goes up over the line. Here's Peter Mahovlich going in on goal, and his drive was wide. Peter Mahovlich took that pass, went right in for the shot, but failed to drive it home. Soviet coming right back. Mihailov, 13. Savard stopped him. Savard with the point, shooting it away, and it's Sagankov for the Soviet to Lecheko, number 3, overskated the puck and nearly left it there as Bill Esposito was trying hard to get it. Puck is still loose in the Soviet zone. Canada still a man short. 53 seconds of the penalty. A pass to the boards. Peter Mahovlich digs it out to center ice. And the puck rolls back to the Soviet blue line, cleared back into the Canadian zone. Brad Park is going with a clearing shot down the ice. Petriak having to stop it. Gusev, number 2 for the Soviet. Shot it to center ice. Bergman shot it right back. Nearly hit the referee. Len Gagnon and Gordon Lee are the 2 officials. And they're much stricter in this game so far. There's a trip or a bump there by Bergman, who really threw the hit, but allowed it was a good clean check there. It looked as if he might have got a skate in it, but he apparently got more hit. Now Yakushev was given the bounce as he tried to come down. And he was hit by Clark. Clark, 28, drives the puck down the ice. It's a bouncer wide of the Soviet goal. Another heavy check there by Ellis, and they're really hammering each other. Brad Park, 5, over on the left side. Henderson trying to come in as they change players on the go. It rolls right across the goal mouth. Gusev, number 2, playing it over on the right wing. Shadron was replaced, and now Lebedev is dumped by Henderson. Here's Canada coming in out of break. Right in that goal, right in, score! Right in front of the net, as Rattel went romping in on the pass, and it was home free.
Team Canada takes control deep in their end. Now a good play by Ivan Cornmoyer. Now look at Rattel control the puck, sees the opening in the top side, and beats Tretiak with a good, clean shot. Jean Rattel.
Rattel really broke in there, and you can see why he was added to the lineup for tonight's game, the third game of the series. He played in the first one, but he had the know-how, and he burst right through there and gave the Soviet goalkeeper Tretiak no chance, and now Canada takes the lead 2-1. Canada 2, Soviet 1. Rattel at 18:25. Down that far wing for Anderson. He failed to get anywhere with the help of Lebedev. There, Canadian team starting out again. Up to center ice. Bill White cleared a forward pass too far. Goes into the corner. They center it out. Here's a shot by Mahovlich. Tretiak stopped that. They're all around the goal. Here's another chance. Stapleton played it over onto the wing. It's right in front for Rattel on a pass from Cornmoyer. But he failed to get a shot as he was bumped just as he was set to go. Lebedev on the right wing, 23, slashes at Rattel.
Assist, number 12,
and Anderson goes into the corner. Anderson playing a very strong game for the Soviet. A pass and a check from behind by Mahovlich. As Canada take over at center, a long pass to Cornmoyer. Went astray. Shadalov ahead to Mihailov to center ice for Harlamov, but he had his stick knocked out of his hands by Cashman. And Cashman laid it on fairly heavily. Shadalov took a long drive at Esposito. 12 seconds left in the period. 2-1 for Canada. And the Canadian team starting to move again down the right side at center ice. Skated off by Maltsev. Esposito had his drive. Harlamov coming down with a drive was blocked as he tried to shoot at Bill White. Broke it up, and the excitement and the noise was so great that they couldn't tell when the period had ended. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 1. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. Recapping the first period at 1:54, Parisi scored for Canada from White and also Phil Esposito. At 3:16, Petrov scored an unassisted goal for the Soviet to tie it up. Then at 18:25, Rattel moved in to score from Bergman and Cornmoyer. And the period ended with the score, Canada 2, the Soviet 1. There were 3 penalties. Vasiliev for elbowing for the Soviet, Cashman for slashing for Canada, and Parisi for tripping. The times 3:02, 8:01, and 15:47. So that Canada had 2 penalties and the Soviet 1.
So teams get ready to go to the opening face-off. I have to remark, Foster, on the heavy hitting in that period. It was really fantastic to see both teams go into the corners. They were always looking for the checks, and some checks like Bergman Bill White going into that corner, throwing the shoulder, and I think the game's going to be won in the corners tonight.
All set for the face-off, and Shadron is at center ice, 19 for the Soviet, clearing it into the Canadian zone. Canada to the right, the Soviets in the white to the left. Sliding with a shot, what a save that was on Gusev. Another drive, hit a player, and Bergman is going in back of the net, and the Soviets seem to take advantage of making a quick thrust right at the beginning of the period. Here's a breakaway for Phil Esposito coming in on the right side. He got in the rebound. Oh, and he just failed to get it by Pretriak, who had stopped it, and the puck got loose. The puck was cleared out at center, and it's finally seen there, and the puck is over the line. Risi was pushed around quite a bit on the play. Hart intercepted that pass. Cashman is waiting for the pass. Goes to Esposito instead. Yakushev is down with Esposito. The two of them fell together. Cashman clears to Esposito to back of the net. He's trying to dig it out. Shoot it on the boards. Down the ice. And sliding. It's going over the line. And they didn't call it. So Bergman brings it back. They thought that was going to be called for icing. Risi, 22, cleared the puck, and the shot was made by Esposito, 7. Puck is still in the corner. Canada in possession momentarily. Cashman recovered momentarily again by Lebedev. And here's another shot from the blue line by Pat Stapleton as they got it back to the Soviet player. Now there's a rough and tussle in there, and it nearly started something.
Again, those heavy checks along the boards, and I'd have to believe the reason the Soviets changed that front line, bringing in the young kids and changing some of their defense, Foster, is to get a little more beef in the corners, because they know that Team Canada is going to play it very tough along the boards with Cashman, Parise, Henderson, Ellis, and if they're going to win this game, they know they're going to have to meet Canada pound for pound along the boards, and so far it's been almost a saw-off.
Canada leading 2-1, and the puck is in the Soviet zone. They break out 3 abreast, coming over on the long pass on the right side. A return pass there by Lebedev went astray. Another pass comes to the blue line. It's out, and the player is knocked over by Stan Nikita, but he failed to get loose. Lebedev is knocked over, and there's rough treatment every time anybody gets near that puck. It goes out to center ice with Shaveloff driving it over the line. Pass Stapleton, who took a ride there from Lebedev, 23. Soviet trying to come in on the right side. Anderson cleared it back to the blue line. Here's the shot that's deflected. Another shot hit a skate when Lebedev had a try. Jamming session on the boards in the Canadian zone, and the face-off in the Canada zone.
The checking along the boards is very fierce, and the one thing that a lot of people have commented on is that it appears that Team Canada appears to be running quite a bit. But I'd have to say that having played against the Soviets, you mightn't notice their checking quite as much, but they have the stick, the elbow, the hand comes up in the face, and they come off the checks with the stick, and I'm sure that even though you don't notice it quite as much, that they're making that going just as rough.
From the face-off, Canada gets it to Lapointe. Now on the defense with Savard, up to center ice, a cleared pass on the left wing to Henderson out there with Ellis and Clark. Puck rolls over onto the boards. They're watching this 3-man break at center. Mihailov, 13, going in on the right side, stops. He'll pass it if he ever gets a chance. And the puck rolls out over the line. Harlamov getting it back to his defenseman. It's cleared over the line. They're moving in fast. Here's Maltsev getting the shot. And Esposito had to be very good to get that one right on his edge of his glove.
Esposito made a spectacular save here. A terrific shift coming down by number 10, Maltsev, and he passes that puck off quickly right here. Now Maltsev takes that pass, and Esposito almost gets caught trying to set up to cover the angle of Maltsev. Maltsev let that shot go the second he got it and almost caught Tony Esposito coming across the net.
Puck slides to the blue line. The shot is wide of the net. Mihailov, 13, digs it out. It goes to Lachenko. He shoots it into the corner. Mihailov is watched by Lapointe. Puck goes back to the net, and it's grabbed off by Clark. Given to Savard. Lapointe getting it ahead over the blue line. A long pass by Clark goes into the corner, and Ellis didn't know he had it. Soviet trying to come back. A long clearing pass goes to Henderson. Another chance for Savard. He fooled Mihailov. Goes to center. He's 23. Savard shoots it into the corner. He's playing a strong game. Henderson raced after it. Here's a shot by Ellis. And Petriak stopped that one. And Esposito is down on the ice after that collision with Lachenko. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviet 1. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg.
Tretiak has been very strong in the Soviet net again tonight.
From the faceoff, here's a shot from the blue line. Went wide there as it hit a leg. It nearly fooled Tretiak. Park with the defense on the trench with Bergman. The puck goes in back of the goal. Cashman took his man out of the play, Vasiliev. And they're jabbing in the opposite corner. Gusev is watched by Parise. And he scored! Esposito got a pass from the corner and fired it home to give Canada a 3-1 lead. Esposito.
A perfect example of your wingers working in the corners. Look at him fight for the puck right here. He gets it. Cashman out to his favorite. Esposito drills it to the top right-hand corner. Tretiak had no chance. As you'll see on this goal, Tretiak has to cover the post, and he gets beaten cleanly.
From the face-off, the puck goes to center ice. And it's 3-1 now for Canada. Esposito got the goal. Cashman and Parise seem to get the assist, but we'll wait for the official on it. They're jamming in the Soviet zone. Parise trying to clear it out in front. 22. He gets it over the corner to Cashman. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Here it goes. And it goes to the Soviet player for interference, and Esposito is talking to him.
You wonder how far they can go in this game without a fight developing. A fight in international hockey not only gets your team a 10-minute penalty, but it also gets the two players involved kicked out of the game, so they'll restrain themselves as best they can. But the tension is very immense here, and you have to believe that a fight might develop.
Well, when you get rather tight refereeing and it seems to irritate players and make them retaliate at times when they would show better judgment. But it's a hard-hitting game. There's no question about it. The checking is extremely hard. You couldn't say the officiating was lenient by any means, but they're calling just about everything they can.
So far, I have to be impressed, Foster, with the man-to-man play that Team Canada has exhibited. They are playing the body tonight just absolutely perfectly.
USSR, number 16, Vladimir Petrov, 2 minutes for interference at 4:46. Punition, Union Soviétique, le numéro 16, Vladimir Petrov.
Already with Rattel now at center ice for Canada. 4:19 was the time of Esposito's goal. And he was the real opportunist when he just touched that puck and it was in the net, the way he blazed it from the slot. Mahovlich with Rattel at center this time, and Cornwallis. At the blue line, Brad Park to Cornwallis in the corner. He shoots it right in front of the goal. It bounces over to Lapointe. Lapointe drives it in back to the net. Cornwallis trying to get it back to Park. Fakes the shot, backhands it, and it's driven down the ice. Tony Esposito skates out to the corner, shoots it around on the boards. Frank Mahovlich, 27, goes in front of his own net. Shadron is trying to stop him. Mishakov missed him. The sliding pass goes into the corner. Rattel tried to dig it out, but couldn't. Mishakov, number 12, cleared ahead, and Shadron shot it down the ice. Canada turning again with a pass on the left wing. Peter Mahovlich let it slide out. Vasiliev cleared on that left wing, and the Soviet player Shadwin was turned around. Now Vasiliev getting a shot, and it's wide of the net. Esposito's view was blocked on that one. Back comes Canada. Lapointe carrying it at center ice over the line, closing in right in front. Armaye nearly got his stick on that one. That was a close call for the Soviets. As the puck comes out to center ice, Park 5. Changing players again. Park at the blue line, failed to get by Mishakov. He's trying it again. Playing it KJ. 3-1 for Canada. A cleared pass on the right side to Esposito. And he's out there quite often. Lapointe to Peter Mahavlich and Cornwallier, who has it. Back to Peter Mahavlich, who tried to steer it, and it went wide of the net. And the Canadian team mixing up their lines now. Here's Lapointe getting a shot. It bounced off the Soviet player. A two-man break at center. Lapointe trying to stick with Mishakov. Park is given the bounce against the boards, and then he's bounced from behind there. Snyder goes down. Cornwallier going after it. Closing in with Esposito, who is turned around without getting a shot on goal. Return rush by the Soviets. Petrov had his shot that bounced wide, and a swing at that puck went wide as it goes loose on that corner. Another shot is a drive off the target. Goes all the way back to Kuzkin, number 4 for the Soviet, at his own blue line. Vasiliev was there with the two. Mihailov, number 13, is on the move. Passing, it's deflected. Mihailov to stop with his pass. Here, move to center. Ellison, Henderson going up. Clark waiting after the shot was grabbed off by Tretiak. Ellis having the drive. With the score, Canada 3 and the Soviets 1. This is game 3 from Winnipeg. 12:09 left in the second period. 3-1 for Canada. Clark getting that puck coming in right in front of the goal. And he shot wide of the net. Ellis recovers by breaking up the drive. Here's Clark in front of Henderson. It's Ellis. Right off. Another close call for the Soviets. Bill White and Pat Stapleton on the Canadian defense. Ellis rushing in, grabs the Soviet player, bounces back to White. Here's a shot. Tretiak stopped it, went wide. It's out in front. Mihailov failed to clear, and the Soviet under pressure. A bump there by Henderson slowed the Russian defense players. Sagankov down, and Mihailov turning, getting in on a shot. He finally passed in front. Oh, what a save that was by Esposito. The pass came right over to the side, and the drive on the short side was knocked down. That was one for the book. That had to be the best save of the night by Tony Esposito. Puck is recovered at the blue line by Canada momentarily. Then it's knocked over the line. There's going to be a penalty call here, according to the official. Maltsev passed on the right wing. Goalkeepers don't make any attempt to move out. He held his hand up, possibly just for a possible offside. Soviet coming back on the right side. Harlamov going in with his shot. It hit a leg. Cashman, 14, clearing it back to the net. It's up with Esposito waiting for a long pass. Cashman goes into the corner. Sagankov in after him, stole the puck from him, lost it again to Cash, centered out. Esposito's drive was wide when he had a real shot there and hurried it. Canadian keep that puck in there. Kavalov is trying to come out with a long forward pass to Anderson. Stopped on the play by Savard. Puck is in center. Cashman hooked it ahead with Esposito. Two of them go over the line. The shot goes to the corner. Cashman takes a jolt, hangs on momentarily, then lost it, and it's a three-man rush for the Soviet up over the line for Anderson. The puck goes into the corner to Vodnov. Shot over onto the wing, and Mahavlich shot it out to center on a player change. Makita is out there now with Frank Mahovlich as the puck goes bouncing back within goal. Makita with the red helmet dumped on the flag by Lebedev. There'll be a penalty there. Here comes LaPointe closing in, centered in front. Noda's there. Another drive by Mahovlich. And Makita tried to steer it home. Another try at the blue line. Here's the shot. Oh, Hart let it go. And it's finally called when the Soviet get it. And
does Lebedev ever hit Stan Makita right here? Makita tries to avoid the check, but look at him get the stick between the legs. And goodbye, Stan.
Lebedev is off for tripping.
Penalty, USSR, number 23, Yuri Lebedev, 2 minutes for tripping at 11 minutes. Punition URSS, le numéro 23.
Lebedev
Yuri
is off for
Lebedev,
tripping at the
2 minutes pour avoir fait trébucher à 11 minutes.
Lebedev off for tripping at the 11-minute mark. And now Canada will have the odd man advantage. Canada leading 3-1. Puck is cleared into the Canadian zone to the right. Rattel is out there with Peter Mahovlich. The two of them coming up at center with Cournoyer dropping back. Puck was recovered momentarily by Mishakov and shot down the ice. Canadian team trying to get regroup. LaPointe. 25 going back of the Canadian goal. Point leading the rush, coming up to the blue line. At center ice, hit his own man. It bounces back into the center ice area. Peter Mahovlich couldn't get it, but Rattel rushes after it. Cournoyer gets it back into the corner. Peter Mahovlich shoots it back to the net to Cournoyer. It bounces off the Soviet player, a race for it. And it's recovered on that far wing by Brad Park. A clearing pass over to Frank Mahovlich, ahead to Rattel. Rattel cleared it back to Cournoyer. A shot! Oh, what a drive that was. And Tritiak was able to get that one in great style. With the score, Canada 3 and the Soviets 1. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. 7:50 left in the second period. 50 seconds left in the penalty to the Soviet. Mahovlich dropping in on that left wing. Centered out to Esposito, and he tried to putt that one and just failed to get it. Another try now. The puck goes off the leg after Mahovlich had a try. Stapleton at the blue line to Mahovlich. Mahovlich took a shot as Cournoyer tried to rush in for the rebound, which didn't occur. Brad Park is forced into the corner. Lachenko covers him. Cournoyer comes out in front. Rolled one near the goal. Tretiak is trying to see it. Mahovlich is chased into the corner by Sigankov. They center it out, and Harlamov goes racing away on a breakaway. Coming in on goal. He shoots, he scores! Harlamov came out from nowhere there to draw the goalkeeper out.
Here's what happens when you don't keep an eye and the man slips in behind. Now Harlamov plays the carom off the boards perfectly. Now watch the good move. He protects the puck as he comes across in front. Esposito has made his move, and Harlamov goes right across the goal mouth and throws it up. Now look at this burst of speed. Now look at him protect the puck with his leg right across in front. Esposito's well out of the net. No chance.
Harlamov made a beautiful effort there. He went right in to draw the Canadian goalkeeper out of position, and now it's 3-2 for Canada. Sigankov was covered on the boards right after Clark started shoving a little bit. He's got Ellis and Henderson out there, Bill White and Pat Stapleton on the defense playing up.
Goal scored by USSR.
As this game progresses, the ice could become a definite factor out here.
Karl Makov. Assist number 7, Gennady Tsigankov.
The puck is
But
back to the
compté par
Canadian goal.
l'Union soviétique, le numéro 17.
Over on the wing, Clark
Karl
passes out
Makov,
too far
assisté
for
numéro
Ellis.
7,
Petrov coming back for the Soviet had his pass intercepted. Pat Stable couldn't get anywhere. Yakashev is leaving around. The teams are at full strength. As the puck comes back at center, Ellis. The Canadians are getting a little more cautious on the offside there. The play was called with 6:22 remaining.
As I was saying there, Foster, the ice conditions could become a factor as this game progresses. The ice surface is very damp now. It's quite warm in this building, and the ice hasn't been in the Winnipeg Arena for too long.
From the face-off, the puck slides into the Canadian zone. 6:18 remaining in the second period. Here's a loose puck for Henderson. Right in. Scores! Henderson went racing in there to get a loose puck, and he fired it home for Canada to bring back that 2-goal lead.
The Soviet defenseman isn't quite ready here. He doesn't realize initially that the puck got in behind him. And Paul Henderson makes a terrific move. Threaded the needle perfectly. Tretiak comes out, covers the angle perfectly, and Paul Henderson threaded the needle with a super shot in the far corner.
13:47. Paul Henderson got that 2-goal lead back for Canada. And now it's 4-2 for Canada. Henderson getting it. And Harlamov had previously at 12:56 scored for the Soviet, with Mihailov getting the assist. Both great goals. Now it's 4-2, and Parisi got to center ice, only to be checked by Lebedev. And the Canadian team still holding the whip hand here, but it's still close. Anything could happen yet. A cleared pass to Anderson. Goes astray. Anderson, 22, trying it again. Soviet have 6 new players in their lineup tonight.
Goal scored by number 19, Paul Henderson. Assist number 6, Ron Ellis, and number 28, Bobby Clark. At 13:47.
Henderson from Ellis and Clark.
Canada, le numéro 19, Paul Henderson, avec l'aide du numéro 6, Ron Ellis, et du numéro 28, Bobby Clark, à 13 minutes 47 secondes.
From the puck is cleared to center ice. Esposito going down, made the pass to the point, tried to follow through for a loose puck, which didn't occur. Lebedev gets that puck out over the line. A squeeze play here, and Shatilov tried to bull his way through, but was squeezed out and didn't get a direct shot at the goal. Esposito covering his man. They're bumping there on the side. Lebedev, 23. Here's a shot, and he scores! A carom shot. Went from the blue line there. It was Vasiliev that fired from the blue line, and I believe it went off the Canadian player.
This is a deflected goal. Tony Esposito really didn't have any chance in this. Vasiliev lets a good shot go. Tony Esposito makes his move in anticipation of where the puck was going. It deflects into the far corner. Valery Vasiliev, number 6.
Vasiliev at 14:59, bringing the Soviet within 1 goal of the Canadian team. Now it's Rattel starting back with Frank Mahovlich, getting right in on goal, right in! Oh, and Tretiak was able to cover the angle as the Big M went roaring in. Mahovlich again going in back to the goal. They're trying to dig that puck out, but couldn't. And the Soviet come right back. Maltsev to center ice, going over the line, gets turned around. They still have the puck, just for a moment though. And Mahovlich trying to get that pass over to Cournoyer, failed, and was offside. With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 3. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. All ready for the face-off at the Soviet zone. On that last scoring play, the shot was fired by Vasiliev, from the blue line, but it hit apparently Lebedev and caromed into the net. Now then, the puck goes into the Soviet zone. Bergman took his shot wide of the net. So that's scoring play at 14:59. Lebedev from Vassiliev for the Soviet, making it 4-3. The puck hit Lebedev instead of a Canadian player. They're all piled up in front of the net. Esposito had no chance. Mihailov getting it to Maltsev. Here's another chance, a shot, and that was a good save on the play as the Soviet are starting to move ahead a bit. Puck goes down the ice. Luchenko going back for it, picks it up, and Bill White and Pat Stapleton are now on the Canadian defense. 3:27 left in the period, and the puck goes into the Canadian bench. 4-3 for Canada, and the Soviet keep pegging away there, getting those chances and taking advantage of them.
An interesting little slogan up on the end of the rink.
All set for the face-off. Back to Stapleton, number 3 for Canada. Over on the right side, Bill White shoots one into the corner. Kuzkin, number 4, played it ahead to Mishakov. Up to the blue line, to center to Yakushev. Over on the wing, recovered by White, lost again. Then they pass back, and it's lost. And the Canadian team break back. Esposito clearing over on the left wing into the corner. Greasy, very strong, knocked Kuzkin over. The puck is still in there. Greasy, 22 for Canada. Right front of Esposito. Here's a shot. Oh, it went off the stick, as Kuzkin had it pretty well covered on the play. Petrov was standing beside him. Canada keep that puck in there, into the corner. Esposito to Parise, and the puck is recovered by the Soviet, with Petrov making a pass to the left wing over the Canadian line. They're trying to center out into leg. Petrov had another try, took a shot instead. Carried in back of the goal. Bill White cleared it over the line. Yakushev has Greasy well shackled on the play. Esposito takes a flip shot. It's deflected, and Petriak was able to cover very neatly.
The strength of Phil Esposito, when he gets a hold of that puck, they're running at him. They've got the sticks up. They're giving him the elbows. But Phil still manages to keep that puck up in front of him and always ready to make the play on goal.
The face-off will be to the right of Petriak. Rattel is now at center ice for Canada. Number 18, Mahovlich on the wing. Cornwallier on the other. There's a shot right on there when Lapointe let it go for the blue line. That was close. Comes out again. Soviet recover. They break fast. 3 of them up to center ice. Going over the line. Vodunov is forced into the corner. He gets it back to Lebedev. The shot went wide. And this so-called kid line is certainly moving around.
This line played last year at the World Student Games in Lake Placid, and they were the top line for the Soviets at that tournament and have earned the right to make this national team of theirs.
Shatilov is on there with Vassiliev, and that's a new combination for tonight's game. Soviets have 6 new players in there. Puck goes into the corner. It's passed in front. It rolls loose. Here's another pass right in front. They shot to score! And they tied it up. Vodunov let it go almost before he could move. And Vodunov has tied the score for the Soviet.
Vodunov positions himself perfectly here, and Lebedev gets him the puck. Now watch him stand in position. Number 24, a quick shot, and he beats Tony Esposito up into the top corner. Esposito's glove moved on it, but not quickly enough.
So now it's all tied up by a very sterling effort by the Soviet in real classy way, the way they have that puck zinging around there. And now they start in again with Clark. Over on that wing to Ellis with Henderson. Ellis into the corner, shoots it back to the net. A 4-4 tie to indicate how close this game is. Puck is in the corner. The Soviet cleared right onto Bergman's stick. Here's Henderson. Oh, what a shot that was. And a great save by Petriak, who was down low to cover on Henderson's drive. Mihailov is checked. Clark tried to center it out.
1 minute of play remaining in the second
goes
period.
back to the goal.
Une minute jouée dans la
for the
deuxième
Soviet.
période.
Clears right onto Ellis' stick. Ellis
Goal
shoots it
scored
into the corner.
USSR.
50 seconds left in the
Number
second period.
24.
Ellis had it
Bodunov.
momentarily. Clark shoots it into the corner.
Number 22,
Lachenko drives it to the
Anderson.
side. Clark is trying to cover Sagankov. They do mix it up there, and they stop the play for a face-off to the left of Tretriak with 35 seconds remaining in the second period of a terrifically hard-fought period in which the Canadian team seemed to have the edge and then faded in the latter part of this period.
Foster, we've wanted to say this all along, so I guess we can now call that line of Anderson, Lebedev, and Bodunov the headache line.
There's no question about that, because they have now worked into even turns. Esposito gets a shot right from the face-off there, working it a bit. Close. Parisi gets his pass into the corner. It's Cashman trying to dig it out. Cashman plays it out in front. Here's a weak shot that time as Sagankov had Esposito covered. Another try with Cashman trying to dig that puck out. He's a master at that. The puck is knocked back into the corner. They jam there. The Soviets shoot it over on the far side. Yakushev couldn't reach it. Puck goes to center ice. Bergman fell, and Park shot it ahead. And that ends the second period with the score Canada 4 and the Soviets 4. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. Recapping the first two periods, Parisi opened the scoring for Canada from White and Esposito at 1:54. Petrov tied it up for the Soviet at 3:16. And at 18:25, Rattel put Canada one up with Bergman and Cournoyer. The shots on goal, Canada 15 and the Soviet 9. In the second period, Esposito scored for Canada at 4:19 from Cashman and Parisi. At 12:56, Harlamov scored for the Soviet from Sagankov and Mihailov. At 13:47, Paul Henderson for Canada and Ellis and Clark. At 14:59, the Soviet Lebedev from Vasiliev. And at 18:28, Bodunov from Edison to make it a 4-4 tie. Canada outshot the Soviet 16-8 in the second period.
Correction, shots on goal in the second
Just a reminder
period.
to the hockey
by
fans
Team
at home
Canada,
viewing these games,
17
you can
instead of
participate in
16.
voting for the most valuable player on Team Canada by sending the name of your choice to Box 5050 in Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. The winner, as selected by the fans, will receive the Labatt's Best On-Ice Award, a 1973 Ford Mustang Grande. Ballots are available from any Labatt representative or Ford dealer in Canada.
This third period will be in two 10-minute sections under international rules, and they will change ends at the end of the first 10 minutes. Two teams are getting ready for the struggle here in this last period. They're going into the third period, 4-4 tie. They'll play 10 minutes, then change ends. And that is brought about by European rules when they used to play outside, and the weather conditions were a factor. That's why they split the third period in half. Now Maltsev cleared the puck to the Canadian blue line. Ellis starting off with Clark and Henderson, still at center ice. Brad Park flipped one to Ellis over the line. Clark going in right in front of Henderson, and his drive was off the target. Here's to Ellis in front, a shot, and Tetriak stopped that one, and Harlamov coming racing back at center. A big burst of speed, going into the corner, centered it, and it went right to the opposite corner. Henderson going slowly back to his own net, wearing the red helmet. Starting to move now, skating to the blue line. Maltsev stopped him. Bergman at center, lobbed it into the corner, and the Canadian team make changes. As the puck slides down the ice, Esposito, number 7, goes in front of his own defense. Left it there for Bill White. Stapleton cleared a long one up to the blue line, deflected into the corner. Soviet go rushing to the side. Lecheko jammed on the board. Cashman was there, and Kuskin went in front of his own net, passed ahead to Shadman. Goes to Yakashek, who let that shot go from the left side. Yakashek certainly lets that one go hard. Now the Canada come right back, and it's called on the play as the Canadian rush was starting. There's going to be a penalty handed out on this one.
Both players are going to get the gate here, and this is what happens so often. The Soviets, as the play starts to shift up the ice, that's when they make their move, and it makes you wonder, Foster, whether they've been watching Gordie Howe play over the years. Looks like Mishakov, number 12, is getting the gate for the Soviets.
Now then they'll play a man short. 5 aside. 8:27 left in the first half of the third period. It's a 4-4 tie. Checking still very close and hard.
Penalties. USSR, number 12. Mishakov, 2 minutes for slashing. Canada, number 17. Bill White, 2 minutes for slashing at 1 minute and 33 seconds. Punition.
1:33. White and Mishakov off together, and the puck is in the Canadian zone. Puck is back to the goal, over to Stapleton, number 3. Very cautious, shoots it down the ice. It's going into the corner, back to the net. Lecheko shot it over the wing. Here's a drive by Peter Mahovlich that went off the side. Up to center ice. Cleared over the line into the corner. Yakushev is stopped by Savard. A clearing pass goes to that far wing. Yakushev into the corner, trying to wiggle his way out from the side. Cleared to Petrov in the corner. He shut it around on the play by Savard, who went down low to cover.
What you have to be very careful of when both teams are playing shorthanded. Granted that they are playing evenly. Good work along the boards here. Look at Savard play the body. Now he's going for the puck with his skates. Good puck control here, taken down by Petrov. And Yakushev comes in and pins it along the boards. As I was saying, when you play shorthanded, it opens up a tremendous amount more ice surface, and it gives the chance for the skating forwards to handle the puck a lot more than they normally would if there were 5 men out there.
From the face-off, the Soviets recover the puck. The pass in front of the net. That was close as Maharlov let that one go. Mihailov came in fast. Harlamov was in on that side. Has it again. Clearing over to Lechek right in front of the net. And a pass went off the stick and he couldn't control it. Soviets are pressing here as Stan Mikita clears with Cornwallis rushing in, leaving it. The point couldn't control it. Stan Mikita digs it out. Here's a shot by Lapointe. It hit the Soviet player. The point was knocked over by Sagankov. Park going back to get it. They're 5 aside. The pass to Cornwallis. Now to center. Lapointe over to Mikita, who couldn't get up in time. Shataloff. Now again, Canada get a chance with Mikita. Couldn't control the pass. Berkman waited too long, and the teams are at full strength again, and the puck is shot over the line. Down for Mishakov into the Canadian zone. Shot out to Cornwallis. Canadian team at center, Park 5. Weaving around as they change players. Quick pass at center. Clark shoots it in to the corner, and Vasiliev plays it over on the right board. Henderson belted the Soviet player with real gusto. Here's another shot. Henderson couldn't see the pass or shot coming from behind him. They're off into the side. Here, right in front of the net. Oh, Tretiak caught that one on Henderson right in front of the net.
That was an unconscious save by Tretiak. Bobby Clark has good control. Now watch Tretiak. He has to watch Clark behind the net. He pinned against the post, not really that aware of Henderson out there, and he makes a terrific save here. Henderson goes right out, parks himself in front of the net. Now look at Tretiak, and he comes up with a terrific glove save and robs Henderson of the go-ahead goal.
Henderson really thought he had that one in his mitt.
The ice could definitely become a factor here in the third period. It is very wet, it's chippy, and as we've noticed, some of the passes are bouncing. The players are getting a little more cautious on this ice, and they're not going to take the chances with the long pass because they might bounce over the teammate's stick.
5:44 left in the first half of the third period. It's a 4-4 tie, and Clark, Ellis, and here's a shot wide by Ellis, went off the target. Mikhailov cleared it out to center ice. Bill White shot it right back in again. Lutchenko, number 3, going back for the Soviet, cleared a forward pass to Mikhailov for the blue line at center. Over the line, here's a shot into the corner. Maltsev went racing in back of the net. Mikhailov is trying to dig it out, but he's covered on the play by White. With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 4. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. Face-off will be to the right. The Canadian goal as the puck is shot to the corner. It's into the Pat Stapleton, played it off Henderson's stick right out to the Soviet line. Lutchenko cleared it to his own line. Now the Canadian team rushed in there with Henderson getting it and was turned right around on the play. Puck is back at center. On a change of players, Esposito is out there now with Mikhailov, 13, going to the blue line to center ice. Harlamov was unable to get the pass, and Bill White shoots it back of the net. Parisi driving it out to center. Recovered by the Soviet. Mikhailov tipped it right back to Kuzkin. Kuzkin, number 4, giving it to Maltsev, number 10. He lost it. Another try for the Soviet down the left side. Mikhailov couldn't get very far. Another try, this time by Gusev. He made a rink-wide pass. It's deflected to the boards on this side. Shadron was unable to control it, and Gusev starts Mishakov at his own blue line. He's partially stopped. Mishakov picked up the pass from Gusev. Yakashev going in. They failed to get a shot. Shadron's pass and shot intercepted by Cashman. Down that left wing, Canada attacking. Cashman shoots, and the drive was high and off the glass. Yakashev to Shadron. Shadron going over the line. The backhand was stopped when it hit a skate. Puck was cleared out at center ice. Esposito drove it into the corner after Stapleton's pass. On that far wing, Shadron was stopped. Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich goes into the corner, centered it, back to the blue line, driven into the corner, back to the net. No one is there, and the Soviet recover with Shadron clearing to center ice. Another drive by Canada. Savard with Rattel offside, and there'll be a face-off at the blue line.
It's pretty to watch Savard handle that puck. He has such good control of it. His head's always up, and he knew exactly what he was doing there when he laid that puck over, just a shade offside.
Now the Soviet have Anderson at center ice. Bogdanov is on the left wing as the slider goes to Vasiliev. Still bouncing around there. Anderson couldn't get away. Now it's a slider over to Bogdanov. And they're checking very, very closely. Shadalov played it off the boards. Anderson couldn't get a drive on the goal, but it hit his skate. And the Canadian team shoot it down the ice. Petchak just played it back of the net. Canada center one, Mahovlich, but no one was there to get it. Lebedev cleared over the line to Bogdanov. A long shot went wide. Canadian team trying to get that puck out, but they're having a hard time. It slides to the blue line. Finally, Cournoyer drove one off a leg. That's Vasiliev playing it over on the side to Bodnov. A rink-wide pass to the far wing to Lebedev. Back again to Shatilov. And they're passing that puck around. Canada intercept. And it's Lapointe. Now out there with Park going in on that left side. Took a jolt from Vasiliev. With the Soviet player Shatilov in possession. Ahead to Harmelov. Are they moving in over the line? A close call there as Maltsev couldn't get his shot away. Then Harlamov gets that puck again, going back to the goal. Centered at the shot is off to the side and bounces to the blue line. Another drive is wide. Harlamov on that far wing. Lost it. Two Canadian players collide. Harlamov going in. Passed it right in front of the net. And it was stopped there. Oh, that was close as Park got in behind the goalkeeper to make that save.
Harlamov makes a fantastic move at the blue line here. Deking to the inside there. Now look at this play as he goes in. This is a sure goal, and out of nowhere comes Brad Park and takes it right out of the Canadians' net. Tony Esposito was beaten there on a good play. Brad Park saves the goal.
1:02 left in the first 10 minutes of the third period. A 4-4 tie. Canada on the attack. Cashman is going in back of the goal. To the opposite side. 47 seconds remaining in the first half. Parisi is jammed against the boards. The pass came in front of the goal but was not effective. Harlamov going down fast with Mihailov. Mihailov is stopped by Park and knocked down. The puck is to the blue line from Lachenko to Maltsev. Into the corner. Bergman is trying to squeeze him out. Mihailov rushes over, centers it. No one is there. And Canada cleared out Cashman, driving it off the boards, down the ice. And it's called for icing.
Any coach will tell you when you're not sure about where to pass the puck, it never hurts to ice it or trap it along the boards and take that extra whistle. It's a lot better than making a bad pass and possibly costing your team a goal. Wayne Cashman tried to hit Parise, but wasn't that upset when it went to full length for icing.
Soviet playing every man up here. Teams are at full strength. 13 seconds remaining in the first half of the third period. A 4-4 tie. Petrov is going to move in on the circle with Yakashev and Mishakov. Puck slides in front of the goal. Pat Stapleton is on the move. Played it off the boards. Valle tried to move in there fast, but didn't get that puck. Soviet cleared right back. Bill White going back, and it's icing, and it's called. With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 4. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg. They have changed ends. The Soviet to our left now, Canada to the right, and they're coming in with Yakashev shooting one wide. Petrov tried to get the rebound off the boards. Bertel lost it. It's centered back to Gusev at the blue line. The shot hit Bill White's skate, and he played it to the side. Mahovlich tearing it back to Stapleton. Canada sent every man up now. Stapleton at the blue line. Played it ahead. Bertel was in there with Cornwallis, but it was offside.
Foster, it's going to be tough tonight to pick the most valuable player from each team because this game has been as close as the score, and I really don't know who they're going to pick because I wouldn't want to have that problem.
Well, it's certainly been a team game all the way through. Both teams have been relying on team effort rather than individual effort. That Chechak has certainly been putting on a great show there. 3 or 4 times Canadian players were in close, but he always seemed to be able to grab that puck. Now Esposito at center gets it back to Stapleton. Over on the right side to White. And Cashman was given a jolt there, and I'm sure there'll be a receipt on that. Cashman going in with a backhand. Chechak was peppering on that. Then Parisi jams the Soviet player. Here's Parisi and Vasiliev mixing it up a bit. They haven't hit anybody, but it was close.
Shatilov really gave Wayne Cashman a good check. There's a look at Bobby Hull sitting up there with Mr. Benny Haskins to his left. The Canadians are getting a little incensed here. Phil Esposito has been given, I believe, Foster, a misconduct penalty, and this could hurt Canada very much this stage of the game. Wayne Cashman, it was inevitable that Cashman would come back at number 14, Shatilov, gave him a good stiff check. Unfortunately, the referee was standing right behind him. As so often happens, it's not the initial check that the referees see, it's often the retaliation. In this case, Wayne Cashman will pay the price.
He's gone to the dressing room, too. So we'll see just what is the official on this, whether...
Punition, Équipe Canada. Penalty, Team Canada, Wayne Cashman, number 14, 2 minutes for slashing, 10-minute misconduct at 10:44. Punition, Équipe Canada, le numéro 14, Wayne Cashman, 2 minutes pour avoir cinglé et 10 minutes de mauvaise conduite à 10 minutes 44.
Cashman is off, and Stan Mikita is taking his place. So apparently he was cut on the last play.
Well, this is definitely going to hurt Team Canada because they need Cashman to get that puck out of the corners, and he has played a terrific game so far, and he'll be a big loss to Team Canada with 9:16 remaining in the game.
That'll be a slashing penalty by Cashman, but you could tell that Cashman was going to try and get even after he had been hit hard. So now Canada will be a man short, and it's in the latter part of this third period, which is very tense and exciting at this stage. The puck is still in the Soviet zone. Lechenko lost it to Peter Mahavlich. He tried to center it. Esposito, who had argued on that last penalty, didn't get any penalty as was indicated. Puck is back on this right side. Zaganko failed to get anywhere, and it's back to Tretiak, and the Soviet are regrouping again. They have the odd man advantage. Here they move up now. 5 is pressed as they go up over the line. They try the sweeping play, and Harlamov tried his, with Maltsev shooting there, when it went right over the net.
That could have been a very dangerous play as the Canadians' defense backed up a little bit too far. They thought that Maltsev was going to pass the puck off, and Maltsev was driving for those 2 hash marks between the circles. And when you're there, that's the time to shoot. Only a good deflection got the puck up and out of play.
Maltsev moved right in there. Harlamov was right on the left side there, close to him, and they're a dangerous pair. Harlamov gets that puck back. Gankov couldn't control it. Gankov going to the blue line, number 7, and it's trapped now to Mihailov. Here comes the Soviet again, a dangerous rush. Mihailov from the corner, goes back to the net, played it over to Maltsev, 10, to the blue line, to Gankov, back to Maltsev. His pass is knocked by Bergman, and Bergman swung his stick at him. There's a roller right in front of the net, and it's stopped there by Tony Esposito.
The Soviets trying to establish puck control. This is what they do so well. They keep it to the outside of the box. Good puck control. Back to Zagankov, key defenseman on their power play. Bergman has it deflected here, comes back to Maltsev. And Tony Esposito makes 2 big saves, stopping the initial shot and then the rebound. There's Coach Bobrov on his left, Kulagin.
All set to go from the faceoff. Maltsev knocked it to the corner. It's back to the goal for Park. There's no overtime in this game or any in the series. Now Maltsev getting a chance. Passes here, right in on goal. A slider went right across the goal mouth. It went right behind Esposito, but it didn't go in. Bergman is desperately trying to get that puck away. He did. goes down the ice. Esposito steps on the ice. And they're changing on the goal. Savard is coming out with Lapointe. Soviets move up 4 abreast at center ice. Coming in on the right side, Harlamov. Pass back to the blue line. Off to the side, goes behind the goal and over onto this wing. Now they're Mikhailov trying to dig it out from the side. Played it back to the blue line. Here's a shot. Bounced it over on the wing. Hit a leg. Knocked out by Makita. A race for him. Down for Esposito. Right in. And the shot was stopped by Tretak. Again, the Soviets come back with Maltsev at center. Over the line. He stops. Now they're going to try that pattern play. Intercepted by Cornwallis. Going down low. Around on that side. Into the corner. Centered it out. Esposito touched it but couldn't deflect it. And the puck is shot down the ice. And it's called racing.
Foster, you just couldn't see better hockey anywhere in the world than we're seeing right here. The people in Winnipeg have seen a lot of top international hockey, and I'm sure this is the greatest game that any of these fans at this game have ever seen.
And reminding you, with 6:29 left in regulation play, there's no overtime. Rattel gets a draw, fired a shot. That was close. Now the Soviet break out again at center ice. Team's at full strength. Bounces off the goalkeeper, goes to the side, open. A pass went off the skate, cleared out on the right wing. And Lebedev trying to clear the kid line out there for the Soviet. And they're offside with Vodnov going in ahead of the play.
This is one of the few lines of the Soviets. Of course, this is their first game in this series, but they played all last year together as a unit, and it definitely shows out here. They know exactly what each member of the line can do and will do at a particular moment.
Anderson, Lebedev, 23, and Vodnov, 24. Out there for the Soviet, Frank Mahavlich with Rattel at center, Cornwallis on the other wing. Stapleton goes back to the Canadian goal. Played it to Mahavlich. Frank Mahavlich over on the wing to Cornwallis. It bounces into the Soviet zone. Shatilov on the defense, and it's called as the icing call. Or rather on the outside. 5:46. 5:46.
It appears in that last scramble that Guy Lapointe had to leave the ice with a pulled muscle. Don't know whether we'll see him back in the game or not.
Bill White is playing up at the center red line. Pat Stapleton is showing the referee some water or snow back to the net.
I was commenting on this earlier, Foster. What Stapleton was pointing out is that to the back of the Canadiens' net, there is a chunk of ice of about 2 feet long running along the boards that has come right out.
With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 4. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg.
They've had some trouble. They've had some trouble with the ice. They put the ice into the Winnipeg Arena only a few days ago. Apparently this summer, Foster, they put in new machines in here, and I'm sure that they're still ironing out a few of the bugs on the ice surface. And at the back of Canada's goal, all along the boards there, the ice has been very bumpy in the practices. In fact, sheets of ice have come right up, and now they are coming out to repair it because it's all important for puck control. When that puck is bouncing around the boards on a shot, and if it starts to bounce, it could be very critical to Team Canada's position in this end.
Well, this might be a good time to recap the first 2 periods. Canada opened the scoring at 1:54 the first period. Parisi from White and Esposito. At 3:16, Petrov tied it up for the Soviet. And at 18:25, Rattel put Canada 1 up from Berkman and Cornwallis for a 2-1 lead for Canada at the end of the first period. Canada outshot the Soviet 15-9 in that first period. Then in the second period, at 4:19, Esposito scored for Canada from Cashman and Parisi. At 12:56, Harlamov scored for the Soviet from Sigankov and Mikhailov. At 13:47, Paul Henderson for Canada from Ellis and Clark. at 14:59. Lebedev from Vasiliev. That was a shot from the blue line that bounced off Lebedev into the net, and it appeared as if it had gone off a Canadian player. And at 18:25, Bodanov scored the tying goal from Anderson to make it 4-4 at the end of the second period. And Canada outshot the Soviet in that second period 16-8.
This break in the action with 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes remaining in the game, could be just what Team Canada needs. The pace of this game has been tremendously fast, and this little rest right now could give them a good chance. Looking at another highlight here, we see Maltsev break up the ice with good puck control. The puck ends up going back into the point here. And Harlamov makes a good move here coming out, gets that puck back to the point. Good shot. This is the Soviet puck control. They want to keep a hold of that puck. They have good anticipation. Now here's that move to the inside, and that was a beautiful move. And had he not just drilled that puck a little harder, they would have scored.
From the face-off, the puck is at center ice. Mishakov is driving it in and back of the goal. Esposito stopped it back of the net. Frank Mahovlich over on the left side. Rattel at center ice. Flipped it on into the corner. Mishakov covering him. The puck is there. Mishakov was knocked over. Petrov, 6 feet, goes into the corner. Charnoyer couldn't stop it. Slides right back to Bill White in the Canadian zone. It's a 4-4 tie, no overtime. And Bill White failed to get out when checked by Mishakov. He's trying to dig it out, but he was held against the boards by Rattel and Bill White.
At this stage of the game, when that puck gets along the boards, you have to trap it. You can't take a chance of making a blind pass. Bill White, an experienced defenseman, would never take that chance, traps it. Now it does set up a face-off in your end, but it's a lot better than making an errant pass out into that center zone.
Esposito going out there for center for Canada. Peter Mahovlich is on one wing, and Parisi is on the other. Petrov, 16, at center for the Soviet. Kuskin cleared it back of the net. Soviets still have it, center it, and it's blocked by Esposito, who's on the move. He was up to the blue line, still going, and it's recovered by Mishakov. Coming back at center, Mishakov cleared on the left wing. The pass is deflected. Bergman rushes back on a three-man drive with Esposito, who takes the pass. Going up with Park on the far side. The shot hit the side of the net. Bounce to the corner. It's Peter Mahovlich trying to go back to the goal, trying to center it, was blocked. Mishakov fights for that puck, rolled it to the blue line, helped by Petrov. Mishakov at center, over the line. The shot bounded off Park, cleared over onto the left wing. Not out though. Yakushev failed to get a chance. Kuskin back to the blue line for the Soviet, number 4. Makes a rink-wide pass. Starting to weave a bit. Harlamov got it over to Maltsev. Maltsev into the corner. Bergman failed to stop him. Pass comes out to Park. On the left side, Parisi couldn't go through. And the Canadian team are changing on the go. Another rush by Harlamov. Down the right side. He's closing in. Made the pass against the boards. A long shot. And the shot was up there by Tony Esposito by line right in front of the net.
Harlamov makes another one of those classic moves, and I have to give him, in my mind, after this move, he has been the best player for the Soviets tonight. He has a shift that is almost unbeatable. He comes down that ice. He put a move on Pat Stapleton that Stapleton was just lunging at him after he'd gone by him.
3:28 left in the game. 4-4 tie. The puck goes to the blue line. Soviet take a shot. Was stopped by Esposito. Stapleton cleared it out at center. Lechenko lost it. It goes over the line. Clark tried to follow and missed it. A return rush by the Soviet. Comes up over the line. Mylov it off the boards. Partially intercepted by Henderson. Goes to Maltsev. It's cleared off to the corner to Savard. Clark's pass blocked at center ice by Shigankov. Shigankov couldn't get his shot away and bumped into the board. Savard for Canada lobbed it out to center. Henderson getting in on breakaway. Right in. And his drive went wide. Henderson had a quick chance there. Now another chance for Phillies. He waited too long. Mihailov gets the head in center ice. They're going in. Harlamov fell, but gets it to Maltsev. Stopped and cleared to the wing. Still trying to get that puck out. It bounced out to center ice. 2:15 left in the game. Pat Stapleton leads the rush. Going down alone, trying to go through the defense. Knocked Shigankov over. Soviets come racing back with a long shot. Intercepted at center. Hart goes right back. There's the drive off Yakershev's leg. Vasiliev tried to clear. It's in the corner. Marnoyer couldn't cover his man, and the puck was shot down the ice. Bergman is back first and beat Mishakov to it. Canadian team clear out, went out, and he tried to go knock it back in. 1:33 left in the game. 4-4 tie. There'll be no overtime with the tie score.
Valery Vasiliev, a 23-year-old defenseman who has played a tremendous game tonight for the Soviets. Going back into his end to pick up a helmet, which had been knocked off him earlier.
It was the movement for the Soviets in this game tonight that seems to pick the Soviet team up. Marnoyer trying to get going, passed it right on to Mishakov's stick, but he couldn't get anywhere. Back for Vasiliev. The Soviets tried right back in center ice, and Mishakov was stopped. Now Kuskin clears over on the far side, and it would appear as if the Soviet was trying to hold on to that tie. Here's a quick pass to Petrov, over onto the side. Mishakov fired one back to the net. Bergman recovers with 1 minute left
of
in the
play
game.
remaining in the game.
Down the left side was stopped, and the puck went over the glass into the crowd. Be a face-off on the rim of the circle.
Foster, you couldn't see better hockey anywhere. I just can't get over the pace that they're keeping up. They've played 59 minutes of hockey, and they're going at it as if it were the opening minute of the game. Phil Esposito, I've never seen him work harder. He's playing probably as good hockey right tonight as he's played in his life.
It's been a tremendous game, no question about it, and it's been very evenly played. With Canada having the advantage in the first half, and the Soviet coming back to edge the Canadian team to get a 4-4 tie with 53 seconds remaining. There's been little to choose between the two teams. Esposito trying to get the draw, had it momentarily, lost it. Soviet breakout at center ice. Harlamov tipped it towards the goal from the corner. Parise is covering on the side, lost it. Harlamov drove one wide to the far side. Ellis cleared to Esposito. Coming down on that far wing, fired a shot right in front of the net. What a chance Parise had right in on top of the goal. Back comes the Soviet on the right side. Over the line for Harlamov. Turned aside. Mihailov centered out. A shot. And again, another great save this time by Tony Esposito.
What a save by Esposito. Maltsev gets a good backhand away here. Again, Harlamov. Always tough to handle. Good puck control. It bounces out now. Maltsev's out of our screen. Good backhand. Esposito, a big save late in the game. 13 seconds to go. At this stage, Foster, in a game, you want to make sure you don't do anything defensively that will cost you the game. You'll be happy to get out of a game like this with a tie.
certainly been a number of close calls in this one at either end. Goalkeeping has really been tremendous. Petrov is ready for the face-off for the Soviet. Got the draw, but was knocked back to Bergman. Bergman is grabbed by Petrov and hauled down. The puck is in the corner. Bergman ran at his check. Petrov, and the puck is back in the corner. Mihailov covered, and the game is over. And it's ended in a 4-4 tie. Canada 4, the USSR 4. And that's a fair appraisal of a tremendous struggle. Two teams are tired, but put up a tremendous effort. But the final score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 4. This is Game 3 from Winnipeg.